Sometimes dead is better.
Welcome to Give Me Back My Horror Movies, bitch.
Of course you started like
We're not doing this again. No.
Oh, bitch, yes we are.
No.
We are doing a Freddy movie.
How else would
So-
you have ever started this?
Yeah, how else am I supposed to?
I'm an idiot for not expecting that.
I fully expected this. But what he doesn't expect is I'm not letting him start the show just yet because we have some unfinished business.
Oh,
What do we
oh,
got unfinished business with,
What?
bitch?
There is some chicanery going on my show.
I don't know.
There's
what you're talking
some
about, sir.
What?
Backdoor deals happening on my show.
I am not exploring
That-
anyone's
I don't
back
even
door.
know
I'll
what
have
you're
you know.
talking about right now.
I was told to get some information on the last couple of episodes about whether or not my wife had seen Chainsaw Hookers in Hollywood. Or whatever
Hollywood
the fuck
Chainsaw
that
Hookers, get
movie
it
was
right.
called. I don't even care anymore. And I was told, oh yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times. Or at least that's what Pete told me to say.
Oh, you were ratted out. Damn it.
Jackie, we had a thing going on, hon.
Come on.
Come on.
And that's the problem. There's a
Help a
thing
brother
going
out.
on with my wife.
Pete started it.
I may have
And
been
you were
joking
in on it
there.
too. You're not out of the woods
That's
either,
The
right.
audience
sir.
was in on it too. They were all very interested if, Jackie had seen Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
So she listened to the episode while I was still in Ohio, and
Yeah.
I called her about scheduling, and she goes, "We have to talk about Chainsaw Hookers." I was like, "Yeah, I'm supposed to ask you if you've seen it. What's going on?" She's like, "I've seen it a few times." I'm like, "How?" She goes, "That's what Pete told me to say." And so-
Aw, Jackie,
Instantly ratted
Friend,
herself out.
come on, man.
Ah,
yeah.
damn.
So cliffhanger's over, you bitches.
Thanks,
It's a good joke.
Jackie.
It's still a good joke. Thanks,
Good
Jackie.
joke. It was a good joke. Good bit.
So
3
now,
weeks running bit. That was awesome.
yeah.
It was
So
really
now
wasn't it?
you can start the spooky month. Now that we've put all
Yes.
that behind us.
And what better way to start a spooky month than with my host, Charlie. Say hello, bitch.
Sup, bitch?
And then I got Pete. Say hello, Pete, bitch.
Howdy, Nate, bitch.
And I brought in backup, boys.
Yeah.
Backup that we were supposed to
Yeah.
get for Desperado,
Uh,
but we're not able to just because of nightmare of
Nate was a
scheduling and
bitch.
Mate
me
was a
getting
bitch.
sick.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mo
So-
calls it likes to seize it.
I brought in 3 bitches with us from CinemaSlab, Hunter, Hanna, and Anna. Say hello, everyone.
What
Hello,
up, bitches?
everyone.
What up, bitches?
See, they're already getting how this is.
They're already,
rolling.
they're in the
they are.
wheelhouse
They're
of
in the. They're,
how a Freddy
Oh, yeah.
episode works
Freddy
on our
episode works.
show. Yeah.
Hey, one last time for Charlie. Striper rules.
Yep.
That's
Oh.
damn right. Striper rules.
If there was one thing I never wanted to mention on our show is Striper. We got a really good streak going. I think 137 episodes we went.
I don't remember
So
you making a
sorry.
striper reference.
Broken.
Nope. It was on their episode.
It is 0 days since there's been a striper reference.
Well, for everyone that wants that reference, you need to go check out CinemaSlab's episode of Night of the Creeps that me and Nate show up and find out how much Striper rules.
Nope, they suck.
Yes,
Indeed, they
indeed.
Indeed.
You know what doesn't suck, though? Freddy versus Jason,
That's
our
right.
official
Really?
introduction into the spooky season. Don't you say really, Pete? This is
Really?
everything a teenage boy would want.
You're not wrong. You really aren't wrong. You've got blood, boobs, and beasts. So sounds like a
The
perfect movie
title
to me.
cards are in flesh and blood.
It's true.
Yes,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So, Charlie, typically we'd play the trailer, but off air you had told me a specific thing, so let the audience know the specific thing.
For a movie people looked forward to for close to 20 plus years, that the excitement and buzz about this movie was through the roof. they could only give us a 1-minute trailer that is absolute dog shit.
It's the title
Almost-
of the movie.
I don't think I've ever
I
seen
haven't-
the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know if I.
Almost no dialogue, just words across the screen, a couple of scenes from the movie, and then I looked up TV spots, and it's nothing but Freddy's going to get Jason this time. Tune in. It's now playing in theaters, and it's just the dumbest marketing campaign I have ever experienced. And I said, I'm not playing it.
But
Because
did they
the
need a
title
marketing
did
campaign?
everything.
Like you
Dude,
said,
but
this
they
had been
did the
hyped for
weigh-in.
this had
Yeah.
been hyped for 20 years. People
Oh,
have
I
been
know.
dying for this. Did they need to spend any money on a marketing campaign?
Yeah, so I would have something to play on my fucking
Oh,
show,
okay.
Pete.
So-
That's exactly what I needed a trailer
20
for.
years,
Years
Clear-
later,
Clearly, I'm the asshole here.
Yeah, I thought we established that early on in the episode.
so you guys all want to feel real old, like everyone in the room.
Sure.
So this movie came out 20 years ago, right?
Yes.
A, that feels rough because it's like, no way, Freddy vs. Jason's 20 years old.
Oh, no,
This is the
for real.
equivalent for us talking about this movie now as someone back in 2003 talking about one would have been part 3 of Friday the 13th.
That's crazy.
Think
Or-
about that.
That Nightmare on Elm Street hadn't even come out yet.
Yep, because Nightmare didn't come
It
out until
doesn't-
84.
84. So, yeah.
So you think about that when Freddy vs. Jason came out, that's that same time period now of us talking about this movie.
Yeah.
So that means for some kid out there, this is their first introduction to Freddy and
Oh.
Jason.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
It was.
Crazy.
It was for my son. That,
Nice.
I'm also, Jackie already knows she's in trouble because of all that stuff. That I was going to remind everyone that she's the one that let Anthony watch Freddy versus Jason when he was probably a little too young.
Oh,
That a movie that opens up
Yeah.
immediately with naked women skinny dipping.
immediately.
It's a fantastic way to open the movie. All right, so before watching this, I watched Jason Goes to Hell last week, and I had
Excellent
a
movie.
I had a fun game with it this time. So what you do is every time someone gets naked, you take a drink. Every
Oh, no.
time someone dies, you take a drink.
Oh no.
And every time nothing happens, you take a drink. Great way to experience Jason Goes to Hell.
Gosh.
Don't you badmouth my movie.
Yeah.
man.
No, like it's honestly no longer the worst movie of the franchise, in my opinion.
Actually, that's on my list. I just watched the whole franchise all the way through for the first time recently.
Wow, that's quite an investment.
That
Yeah,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched like 18 movies in the span of 2 weeks. I went on a huge
There-
adventure.
Well, whole 18. Oh, both franchises.
Well, I made it through Friday the 13th, and then I
Yeah.
started Elm Street, and I'm
Okay.
about halfway through the Dream Child now. But I think
Okay.
my brain just
Yep.
overloaded.
So you're in part
Yeah.
5 right now.
That's what Nate did on Predator movies. What
I
was it
never
last
want
year?
to talk about Predator ever
Next week, Predator.
again. Too much Predator in 1 week. No, too much Predator in a 48-hour period.
But that's that.
Good
Yeah,
time.
18 movies between these two. I call them a franchise, I suppose. They really started something special with. I mean, you had Michael Myers, sure, but with Jason starting to get marketable, and then Freddy being so likable, I suppose, as likable a pedophile serial killer can get. Uh, it
Yeah.
it was something that I don't think moviegoers had seen in the past, outside of longer franchises like your James Bond, even your Godzillas. You had many movies spanning with the same characters. This was something new in horror, and it works, and it's a testament to time. We continue to get these franchises, the latest being Terrifier, but you got them all. Hellraiser, Chucky, all that spawned in the 80s, didn't it?
But like Hellraiser versus Chucky would have never had the same ring to it, you know?
No.
Freddy versus
Uh,
Jason,
Yeah, I don't
ever
think they're
since that
given
was
a-
teased
Yeah.
at the end of Jason Goes to Hell with Freddy's glove popping up and taking
Yeah.
the mask, that's where we've all been waiting
The-
and waiting. I was 15 when this came out, and sadly, I had to wait till it came out on VHS because I couldn't get a ride to the theaters to go see it. And it
Loser.
killed me because I wanted to see this movie so damn badly. And when I finally did, Me and a buddy, I think, ran it, and it lived up to all my expectations of it because it
Me
gave me
too,
Freddy,
dude.
Did
it
it?
gave me
Me
Jason.
too.
They fought, you know, like, and then
Yeah.
Freddy knew kung fu. Who knew
Right.
that?
Yes.
But
He would even do it in his spare time and down in hell.
exactly. And then on top of that, every time a machete cleaves into someone, we get a blood fountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Mwah.
Like I said, for a 15-year-old boy, this movie,
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
It was. For
So
an
good that it's
11-year-old
effectively
girl,
made it.
It was great.
Yeah,
I loved
see,
it.
perfect.
When did you first see it? Hannah?
Me?
Yeah.
When I was 11, like when it came out, I didn't go to the theater. My mom, never. My mom, no. I always went to my cousin's house, and her parents would let us watch the movies.
It's good
Or
cousins.
my mama, my dad's mom, my mama Wanda, rest in peace. But yeah, she would let us watch whatever we wanted. And I believe it was at her house I watched it for the first time. But I loved it because me and my cousin, we had watched all the Freddy and Jason movies. And so we were ready, dude. Like we were waiting on this.
Oh, sure.
And I feel like I even remember seeing the trailer. And at the time I thought it was cool because, I mean, I'm an 11-year-old kid. I'm sure now it was probably sucky, but
Yeah, we'll have to go.
Dog shit.
yeah.
Dog shit.
But yeah, at that time, I adored this movie. I loved it. So
Well, I think we
All
can
right, well,
all
what about
remember the
Hunter?
standee.
Yeah. Hunter, what about you?
Oh,
yeah.
When was the first time you saw this?
I think the first time I saw it was at your other apartment
oh, okay, my old apartment.
because back then she couldn't afford cable and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I just remember like I always just have good memories because she had like this bookshelf full of movies and like we would just pick a random one. And I think I mentioned that I had started the Friday the 13th movies.
Mm-hmm.
This was back when I was in high school, so I was probably about 15 or 16 when I was getting into Jason and all that good stuff. So she's like, "Oh, well, how about this one?" And I was just like, "Oh, okay." So I watched it, and I was just like, "Oh my god, that was amazing!" It's got the 3 B's, like you said, it's got the 3 B's. Every 15-year-old wants
Mm-hmm.
booze, blood, and boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. That math adds up.
We like that kind of math around here. Anna, what about you?
Me? I watched it for the first time actually when it came out. I remember watching it, but I don't remember it being memorable. I wasn't super big into horror back then. I think I was just starting to get into it. I was still too scared. I was still to the point of,
Sure.
I'm too scared to watch it. I'm going to have nightmares, and it's not fun for me yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I watched it and had fun with it was when Marley was little. I actually just shared this on Instagram. She was 2 years old, and we came home from trick-or-treating, and Freddy vs. Jason was on AMC Fright Fest. And that little 2-year-old sat down at the foot of the bed with like this and just watched the entire thing. It slept like a baby, and she still does. It was so funny when we watched it together during my franchise watch.
I like
we
this
started
kid.
it over here together, and then we went home. And Marley kind of lost interest in it. And then at the end, when Freddy and Jason started battling, she rolled over and said, "Oh yeah, this is what I came to see," and watched the rest of the movie.
Wow.
The title lives up.
Yeah.
She's the coolest kid.
She's so cool for a
I
second.
like this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can invite her on next time. I like this kid.
Oh,
So what about
yeah.
you, Charlie? What was your first experience with Freddy vs. Jason?
Me and Jackie watched it in the theaters. There was no way we weren't going to go watch this crossover that everyone's been, wanting, begging. Fan film, little fan films had been done. YouTube was still fairly early on, in 2003, but there was always talk of Freddy versus Jason. Freddy, what would happen? Kids in high school, what would happen if
I was
Freddy
gonna say, I
fought
feel like
Jason?
it was the playground discussion. Oh, who's
It
going to
always
fight
was.
Jason
It
versus
sure
Michael
was.
Myers?
I mean, that's why Jason Goes to Hell had that ending. It was because they knew everyone would just lose their shit. It's like seeing the alien skull at the end of Predator 2. So it's always trying to like, well, what if these universes crossed over? This is amazing. even to where we started getting comics. And I know the comics for
Yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason came out after the movie,
Mhm.
but that at least filled that up. This
Yeah, they
movie had
had
been
Ash now.
planned.
Yep.
Yeah, they moved into having Ash. And this movie has been talked about 10 years before it actually came out. Like they've been trying to do this since the late 80s to
Yeah,
get
came
them crossed
hard,
over.
campaigned for it, and didn't even get to be in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Ah.
think
Wasn't tall
part
enough
7?
by 2
Wasn't tall
inches.
enough.
Yeah.
so stupid.
And he wanted, and you said he wanted his Jason to have sad eyes or like emotional eyes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't.
I don't
Sounds
Freddy has
dubious to me.
beautiful
Talk about
eyes
Ronnie.
in this.
Yeah, he
They
does,
could have
doesn't
given him boots.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
I know he probably already wore boots, but if it was like a height thing,
Yeah, they
they could
coulda
have given
given-
him taller boots.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
I totally
anyways.
thought she was getting ready
I'm
to say
pissed about
boobs.
it,
I was
sorry.
gonna say in this
Yeah.
movie
I like
that
his
Jason-
tracks.
string hairs
Yeah.
though.
Jason with boobs, that's a kink I don't think I'm into.
You
Now,
probably
if
Or
that's your
am
thing, go
I?
for it, man. I don't care what.
Hey,
not for me.
Don't knock it. Okay, we don't kink shame here.
No, I'm
It's
not kink
totally
shaming.
fine.
I'm just like it's not for me. Thank you very much.
What about you, Pete? What was your first experience? With
I saw
Freddy
this in the
versus Jason?
theater, and yes, this was
Well, I'm
highly
so glad you
anticipated.
two got a ride.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Mofos.
Sucks to be 15. But no, I've seen
I had a
every
car.
I've seen every
Shut up.
Freddy and Jason film since Nightmare 4 in the theater. So that's like Manhattan and Jason Goes to Space and Jason in Hell and that
Nice.
abysmal.
All the best ones.
Some of that. Hey, Jason Goes to Space. I got a lot of time for. I'll watch
Me
that.
too,
time.
dude.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah, I got
love
time for
Jason
that one.
X.
She's on that
Um,
hill.
I'll die on that hill.
Yeah. I still have my Freddy, the 3D glasses I got from Freddy 6. Was it Freddy's Dead or?
Freddy's
Yeah,
Stick,
that was
Freddy's
the 3D
Stick.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I still have the 3D
Now
glasses.
you're playing
from
with
that.
power, bitch.
Yeah, it was only like it's like a 4-minute section in the middle of the film. You had to when Nancy put on the glasses, you had to put on the glasses too. It was cool. So I've
Yeah,
still
all
got
the
those.
little things
Yeah,
were
that's
flying at you.
awesome.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. So yeah, I've seen the vast majority of these films in the theater. Enjoyed them to a degree. This one is fine. It's okay. I enjoy space better. I enjoy Manhattan better. This is okay. Frankly I was a little bored through some of this film. But anyway, we can talk about that in a little bit.
We
I don't
get
wanna
into
bring
all
everyone
that.
down. I don't want to bring you all down.
Yeah, don't
There's
bring
definitely
us down,
some-
Pete.
There's
Yeah,
definitely
don't
some
bring
good things
pride
about this
down.
movie.
Well, one of the things I think that it does so well, it kind of treats itself like a James Bond type sequel, where it's just like, let's ignore Freddy's Dead,
Okay.
we'll ignore Jason Goes to Hell, and just like, here is a new story of like the children have forgotten about Freddy, and Jason is asleep. He's not dead. He's just dormant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's a cool way to kind of like incorporate both of these. It's just
Agreed.
like, let's just start
Yeah.
with like kind of a clean slate. We acknowledge that both of these characters exist in the same universe. We acknowledge that they both of their past have happened, but where they're at right now is just somewhere new.
I also like how they included, excuse me, the Hypnosol. Was that, did I say that right?
Hypnosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was from Dream Warriors from
Yeah.
Nightmare 3.
Mhm.
Was
And
the
that's-
psychiatric ward,
Yeah.
is that from Dream
Part
Warriors as
3.
well? The same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So they are no
Yes.
longer able to dream, which means they can't dream of Freddy, and he's losing power. That's
Yeah.
a very clever way to bring him back, I guess. Even though some of these kids do remember him, or at least stories of him.
Well, That's
which-
also where it messes up, because it's like,
yep,
it was
that was
only
one of my
4
problems
years.
with it.
like,
And it was only 4 years.
4
right.
years is not that long. Like,
Nah,
I feel
it's-
like
it's one high
everyone's
school
like, oh yeah,
cycle.
that Kruger guy. Like,
Or
yeah, exactly. A person that was a freshman is now a senior.
Some 7th grader probably remembers what the hell was going on. So
Yeah.
it had it been a span of time, like even half a
20
generation,
years, like a generation.
15,
or
20
something.
years, right? It would have been
Yeah.
it would have made more
A
sense.
generation.
But at
Yeah.
4 years, like man, no, you dropped the ball on that one, and that's one of
Yeah.
the big problems I had with this movie. It just didn't quite fit as far as the time went on. It didn't fit for me.
This one leaves you thinking that there's a whole nother story that's happened that we only get pieces of. with them being 14, that he had the dreams, but they had to send him away because
Mhm.
he witnessed her dad kill her mom. You're getting
Yeah.
all this stuff like, is there a movie I missed? Which one are they referencing? The one guy's brother, it leads up to as if he committed suicide in the
Yeah.
tub, because that's what he's remembering. And you're like, where was all this? What are we talking about right here? I get what you're trying to do. They're trying to give some history without making this a super long movie.
Yeah.
But it's also just
But
very
they're
like,
also
I
retconning
need more
everything.
information.
They're retconning, but I
They're
also kinda
retconning
dig
it
that,
all.
like, you got this history of Freddy still haunting the town with
Yeah.
some of these previous players, and I always thought
The
that was pretty
the
cool too.
adults, yeah.
Yeah,
It only made me question one thing: was that sheriff almost rips that deputy's head off when he almost says, Freddy's
Mhm.
name. And I sat there for a second and went, is there no one in the town named Fred? Is there no one in the town named Frederick? Like,
I
Forgot.
did they
Yeah, I mean,
make them move or did they kill them all? Because it's like, don't say anything close to it because you'll make someone remember it. Old Fred down the road is fucked. Because, you either got to get a name change.
There's a city
or-
ordinance. You can't name any of your
yeah, and
children
the
Fred.
welcome sign to the city says
Or-
"Welcome to blah 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 population blah blah blah," and then right underneath that, no Freddies.
No Freddy's.
Like no Freddies
Yeah.
allowed.
No Fred's
no
allowed.
Fred's allowed.
Friends aren't welcome. Like,
Every-
Irish
yeah.
aren't welcome.
Everyone welcome except Fred.
Right.
That's
right.
all. This is
But also then
no
like,
Fridas. That's too close. None of this.
Yeah,
so
no,
leave the women
yeah.
out.
if it starts with an F, ends in a Y, we just don't want you around here. And then
You're
like
out.
Freddy has been searching the bowels of hell to figure out how to get the children to fear him again. And I'm guessing he goes across technically Jason's mom to utilize her to wake him up. Did I interpret that correctly?
Yes, that's
It wasn't
that's how
him
I.
going into hell to
No, I
find
thought
Jason.
Freddy was his mom.
Yes.
He was disguising himself as his mom.
Yeah, that was
Because-
Freddy.
Yes, to
like,
resurrect.
Yeah.
Because Jason's just asleep 3 foot under somewhere,
Yeah.
Right.
technically.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
almost
he goes
like
for
it's
his
soul.
another
So
dimension,
basic-
like a
Yeah.
hell dimension or something where but I guess it wouldn't be hell because he's just walking around killing a bunch of people, but is what it looks like, sort of.
Jason's just having a nice dream.
Yeah.
He's just wandering around, Crystal Lake, stabbing bitches.
That's the other
You
thing.
know,
Bitches.
Crystal Lake takes place in what, New Jersey, I think? And
Yeah.
then Nightmare on Elm Street takes place in Ohio. So he had to walk from Jersey to Ohio to get to Elm Street.
Have you not ever watched a Jason movie before? Do you know how he can kind of transport?
Well, in the game, he could just
someone is-
teleport.
he got
He's
to
clearly
Manhattan.
behind this
He
chick who's
rode a
running this
ship.
way.
He had to
And-
ride a ship, though.
Yeah.
You can't ride a ship from Jersey to Ohio.
He hitched a ride. I don't know.
Yeah, he can. You
I
go on
like
a
to
Great
think-
Lake, you take St. Lawrence, you come around the long way, and you're in
Well, that's-
Jersey. What the fuck's wrong
He
with that?
took a 4-door sedan.
No,
Took like a
plot
nice
I would have loved to
station
see
wagon.
Jason
there
drive a
and
car.
said, I'm tired. I'm just gonna go home.
Well,
I'm going
I,
back.
I would like to see Jason get cut off in traffic. A guy didn't use his turn
Well,
signal in a
technically, they
BMW.
drive him back tranquilized.
Yeah.
right, all the way back to Crystal Lake.
That makes sense, though, because they drive. How did Jason get there, though? That's my problem.
So yeah, technically in this movie, they drive from where they are to Crystal Lake, and it doesn't seem like they're driving that long because that's when they've tranked him basically.
But they
With the
keep
drugs.
tranking
Yeah.
him for the,
Yeah.
probably 12-hour drive from Ohio to Jersey.
There were no snacks in that van. There were no piss bottles in that van.
They
There
were not
was nothing to
prepared.
tell me
No,
that was a
not at
long
all.
trip.
Yeah, but on the drive from Jersey to Ohio for Jason, that means anyone that cut him off, dead. Anyone that didn't use a turn signal, dead. Like,
The ultimate of road
Body
ragers.
count.
It's how I
Yes.
feel when I drive from Columbus to Virginia. So trust me. Yeah, it's like motherfucker.
Aw.
Yeah, it's exactly how I would be.
and add in an extra 10 hours of driving then, and you're Jason with a machete.
I have an axe. I don't have a machete.
You have an axe. You have a van axe. You
I have a van
shop
axe. That's
axe. You have a
Yep.
kitchen axe.
I do have a machete in the shop. So I
Oh.
mean, I'm
Oh,
covered in the
cool.
shop.
You
I
got
told
it.
you, don't.
Machete somewhere in the house. I just gotta hope whenever someone breaks in, they don't find it.
They don't find
before
it
I do.
first.
Yeah,
It's next to the shovel.
Slash it a bit.
it's somewhere.
That's Goblin sneaking behind him with a machete in his
Mhm.
paws.
Yeah. But when Jason finally does make it to Ohio, we instantly get a glorious kill right out the gate.
Yeah.
Like this
No,
movie
yeah,
doesn't
that's my
slow
favorite
down
one.
on the kills.
Yeah.
No, this
get
this
a-
movie does move at a frantic pace. It's pretty fast. It's jam packed.
Well, I mean, it's what, hour, but not an hour 40. It's like an hour
Thankfully,
38 or
yes.
something like that. Yeah. So
Nobody
pretty
needs a
short.
2-hour Jason movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
has Freddy too.
Jason goes to Manhattan.
Still don't need a 2 hours.
I love Jason
like
Goes to Manhattan.
It's so long. He's on that
It
boat
was
for
pretty
so
long.
goddamn long.
Big baby.
But see, what I was really interested to see with Jason this time, something that I never really considered or thought of, was that Jason doesn't really become the icon Jason that everyone knows until he gets resurrected. Before that, if those camp counselors knew how to fight, they could have taken him out. But then once he gets resurrected, then he's like, okay, he's the idea of Jason that everybody has in their mind now. This big
Yeah.
badass who
Agreed.
indestructible and will kill anybody and anything.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, he's still human through the first 4, and
Yeah.
then his human body dies in 4, and like you said, he's resurrected in 6 with some jackass in a fence post or something.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tommy Jarvis
lightning.
was trying to get revenge, all right, and accidentally brought
He's
him back
dead,
to life.
buried in the ground. You resurrected
PTSD,
him.
dude. Maybe his therapist recommended him to go back to the grave. I don't
To
know.
dig up a grave, I don't think therapists recommend digging up a
Yeah.
grave.
I don't know. We don't know his session HIPAA.
No,
Very,
no, no.
very true. Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's going to be one of my. I have a few complaints with this movie. I'm probably not where Pete's at, but I'm also watching it again for the show. As much as we try not to be as critical, we're just trying to have fun. I'm watching this going, Freddy literally says he is unkillable. It's why he picked him. It's why he resurrects him. And then by the 2/3 way through the movie, he's going, how do I kill this thing? Why
Mhm.
won't you die?
Well, that's
How do
what
I
I
get
love,
rid
though.
of
It's
you?
just Freddy being like, all right, I fucked up. That's
Yeah.
on me.
That's,
But it-
that's my bad.
they
That's my
set
bad
it
there.
up as he's an unkillable. It's like even when he's dead, he's not dead. It's that, and I'm gonna start now. If they'd have not done this, I probably would have enjoyed the movie a hell of a lot better. I fucking hate that they made him scared of water. I'm like, that makes
That
no
was-
sense.
They even show him
whatsoever.
wading through the water in his dream.
in this movie.
In this
Yeah.
movie,
He
yes.
comes out of the water at the end. He's been in the water in most of the Jason movies. He's never
Yeah.
had a fear of water. He's supposed to be fearless, like no emotion. And
Yeah.
then they do this bitch ass move to make him scared of a waterfall and turn into a child. That's my problem with Ronnie Yu in this movie. Is it's just like, dude, you're out there with your ideas. I don't know how he got this gig.
Some
he did
ideas
great with
work,
Chucky.
Some
but-
don't. Yeah.
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 Like, I mean, Jason gets covered in beer when he machetes a keg. Does that technically count to scare
Right.
him?
I mean, he
Right.
was on
Is
fire.
it
Maybe he was
anything
welcoming
liquid?
it. Yeah.
Anything liquid?
Yeah.
I was hoping Jason would start stumbling around like he's drunk after the
I think it would have been awesome if he picked up the egg and held it over
Machete
his head.
you. There's 2 of you. I'll just
Right.
machete that one. He does the
You
Doc
go-
Holliday where he's like, I got a machete for the both of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get his perspective for a second. It's like beer goggles, and it's just
Yeah.
everything is everywhere. No,
Speaking
but-
of that party,
What a party. Because those
What a
parties don't
party.
exist, all right? I
They-
have been around
they don't-
cornfields. They're not real.
well, one, they cleared out the middle of a cornfield. Someone's going to get a whooping. Holy,
Yeah.
it just someone's
Well,
going to get their ass kicked.
That
Uh,
might be like the rich kid's cornfield or something like that, though.
No, you just destroyed product that is supposed to make money for you anyway.
Once
but
again, though,
there's-
you're the rich kid
the-
who gets no repercussions because
There's
you're the rich kid.
one kid carrying around a pitcher of Everclear is no.
That is
I'm-
literally so they could throw it on him and it would
I
ignite.
no,
Yeah,
it was
I
mean,
wild.
that is-
even him saying
that
I've
was
got
totally get
Everclear.
that.
That was such a oh my god type moment because you can't light beer on fire. I get it,
No,
and whiskey's a 50-50, but
Yeah.
he literally had to go. This Everclear is kicking
kicking
my
my ass."
ass. And I'm,
yes, you'll go
It's
blind
like,
in
yeah.
about 5 minutes. I promise.
he's gonna throw it on him. That's
Well, it could have
obvious.
been hot apple pie
Yeah.
for all we know.
Yeah.
No.
Talking about
Thank
that
you, but-
though, that part where Jason lights on fire, that was a
Oh.
big deal. Like that was a big
Badass.
stunt. That wasn't actually Ken Kersinger that was Jason
No.
in that. They switched him out for Glenn Ennis because they didn't want him to get hurt.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know. And he act like if I can remember from my notes, but he wore Nomax, which is like a resistant type material, fire resistant material. And then they put they slathered him in this like fire resistant gel, and then they poured an accelerant over the top of him. And that's how he walked 75 feet.
Holy shit!
On
That was all
fire.
in one.
Sitting
That was
so
one
awesome.
take.
They were directing him with a radio in
Uh-huh.
his ear. And
Because you couldn't see
he
shit, I'm
walked
sure.
that whole way like with being directed.
That's
that way.
amazing. I wondered if they had to take a couple of different takes, but there was one stunt.
Yeah.
that whole thing.
I think
Wow.
it technically beat Kane Hodder's record from was
Yeah, it
part
probably did.
6, Nate, or 7 that we did.
I
That was
can't. Part
7.
7 is what we did.
The one where he catches himself on fire in the basement was
Yeah.
technically
Yeah.
the longest burn for a stunt man to just take. I think this one technically broke it, and that they continue filming him walking, and it's not like he's running like you see in action movies and horror movies. He's walking.
No, he's just
And he
chilling.
when he pulls that machete out and he's on fire,
Yeah.
Fire
that
machete.
is a badass scene.
It
Yeah.
looks so
Machete's on
cool.
fire. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was
And he
pretty
throws
badass.
it.
Just shows him like walking through the cornfield, and you just see like the cornfield.
Yeah, exactly.
the
that
flame.
over the head shot where you just see his trail.
All
yeah.
that
Badass.
looks
So
great,
cool.
and there's one tiny thing that
Oh,
fucks
no.
it up for me at the end.
Oh no.
Is when
I
he's
missed it.
chasing Everclear dude. Before he throws the machete, Everclear dude's holding blood in his mouth, and you can tell because
Yeah.
his cheeks
Yeah,
are pushed
yeah,
out.
yeah. You're right.
And here's the thing: had they done it in all one take, I'd accept it. But they literally cut the scene to show the machete flying, and then
Yeah.
impaling him spitting. And I'm like, you could have done this better and not had him look like a chipmunk being chased by Jason, because it took me out of it. I went, he's holding blood in his mouth. That's
Mhm.
Yeah.
blatant right
But
there.
then once Jason's in the party and gets his machete back and he's got the beer drenched all over him, it's every time he's slicing someone, the amount of blood that comes out of every
Oh, it's
person.
everywhere. It
Oh,
comes
it's
out
so
like
awesome.
the keg beer did. It's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, there's one guy that he slices when he's on fire, and you can see the apparatus under his shirt, like
Oops.
squirt blood.
Eh,
And
it
then
happens.
The deal that really took me out of it was the one right before he gets lit on fire when he breaks that guy's head or that guy's.
Oh yeah, the
head goes
CGI of
around.
that.
You can
It's
like
bad.
see the CGI, like it's not lining up.
No.
Yeah, it's so weird.
The CG, all the CG is
Yeah.
bad in this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You might as well just
Yeah.
hit his head underneath it and put a dummy on top. I would
But
have
kudos to
appreciated
them.
that more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the amount
me
of
too.
practical effects they used in this movie.
They did. I mean, I
They
like
did.
the one dude's dad when he's sitting on the porch.
Oh, his
and the
head falls off?
Just
That was-
falls
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I
So
love
much
that.
fun.
And then the kill after it on the kid, you're like, what did he do to the kid? Like,
Yeah, It was
he's-
off camera. That made me so angry. Like,
but he's
this is-
also moving the machete at the slowest pace I've ever seen.
The
It's
amount of blood that then sprays onto
Right.
the wall.
it's a fucking Jason movie. Show me the kill, and they went off camera with it.
Since we're
Yeah,
on
it
this
was
thing,
in
there's
the-
one more that made me mad, and it's at the very beginning when the topless girl running through the woods, she backs up to the tree, and she they reveal it's a giant oak tree, and she works her way around it, and Jason's standing there. When he stabs her, lifts her up, which is awesome, she's flying through the air. That machete goes all the way through that tree. That tree was like a 7-foot diameter tree when they
He's
showed
got
it.
that much strength, dude.
So
That much
his whole
force.
arm all the way up to his pec and the girl are now
Yeah.
inside that tree. It's the
Yeah.
Narnia tree, right? So it's like,
yeah,
boom,
that's what it looks like.
he's
Well,
on
he's
the
using
other
the
side.
machete that's the same length of the chainsaw from Texas Chainsaw 3.
That
Like,
I would
that's
buy.
what it is.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
We do not discuss that movie on this podcast anymore.
No, we did. We actually
No.
covered that movie.
No,
on this
no, we
podcast.
did
No,
not.
no, we haven't covered
Nope.
3 yet.
Oh, not 3. We did.
Yeah.
Oh,
We did Generation.
oh, no, we don't
Yeah,
talk
we
about
only
that
do
one
the
either.
bad ones on this
No, no,
podcast.
no,
We'll
no.
never do the good ones.
Hunter, say something.
Yeah.
Hunter,
He's
Okay.
like, no.
he said Hunter say something.
I can tell Hunter's been to parties like this before. What are your what are your experience with parties like this, Hunter? I can totally tell that you're the
Have you
The
been the
corn
partier
crop.
behind the
The party, yeah.
behind the rose?
No.
you're the partier behind the rose. I can
Yeah.
tell.
No, it's this one. Trust me.
Oh,
Thank you.
Wow.
is that where you met? Oh, very nice.
Hu-
So,
So
Hunter
sorry.
was driving that bus when he threw her underneath it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you there, brother.
Now you're welcome.
Okay, well, I have a question. What do we think about the cast in this one? Because some of them's okay, but then most are kind of.
We got a Destiny's Child in this one. How
Oh,
else
yeah.
do you date a movie so badly that throw it in
Yeah.
a Destiny's Child?
Hey, Fred.
She is the character I could do without in this movie. I'm
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
me
She is
too,
the
for
one
sure.
that you could have cast anyone else and I would have been happy. She is not working for me in this.
We should have
None
cast
whatsoever.
Beyonce. I know.
I would have took Beyonce, Tony Braxton, Whitney Houston, anyone in this role except her. I didn't buy her. I didn't even buy her as a bitchy catty teenager. You know, it just
She wasn't
didn't
mean enough.
work. No,
She wasn't Charisma Carpenter enough to be mean.
right.
She was dollar store Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah.
I like the lead girl. I think she fits good.
She's all right.
She gives you Nancy vibes.
Yeah.
She's probably the best actress or the best actor in the entire film.
Mhm.
I think everyone else
mean-
is
Well,
okay
I mean,
at best.
Catherine Isabel, who was in
I-
American Mary, she's fantastic.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah, I
okay.
was
She
gonna
was
say, I
in,
love
um,
Catherine Isabel in this because
yeah.
she was
she
from
doesn't
Ginger
really get a
Snaps.
chance to
Ginger
shine
Snaps.
in
I was gonna say, yeah, she was
Ginger
in.
Snaps.
Yeah,
another one.
and the police guy. What was his name?
I've
He's
seen
been
him a
in
number of times.
it. Okay, his name's
He's from
oh, yeah.
Peacemaker.
Lachlan Monroe.
Lachlan Monroe. He also played the dad in Riverdale.
Oh,
judge me.
that's
The first 3
Yes.
seasons were fantastic. Yeah, he was Hal.
and he's also one of the detectives in White Chicks.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just admitted I've watched Riverdale. I'm so embarrassed of myself.
you did.
Nerd.
Oh, don't-
Well, I mean, it kind of went off the rails after season 3, so I didn't finish it. But
And-
the first 2-3 seasons felt like a teenage Twin Peaks. It was really
Yes,
fun.
yeah, it did. It did.
Mhm.
And Brendan Fletcher that played Mark, he was really good.
Yes, I will say he was
Yeah.
probably the best actor in this movie.
Yeah.
All
I would
right,
say yes,
all right.
I will agree with that.
He's been the one that got caught on fire, whose brother.
Yeah,
his
I liked
brother-
him.
Okay.
He's been in a
All
bunch
right.
of stuff. He was
Oh.
in The Revenant. He
Yeah.
made an appearance in The
Last
Last
of
of
Us.
Us. Joe Pickett, new stuff. Oh, Violent Night. Yeah, I've seen him in a bunch.
Yeah,
of stuff.
he's
I
been-
think he's probably
His
just-
brother was Scott Farkas from a Christmas Story.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
I, he
thought
was
they did
also the
great.
brother on Titus, and I loved that sitcom.
That's where he's
growing up.
from. Titus.
Yeah, he's the
That's
brother in
right.
Titus.
Oh, Titus! I grew up watching that shit.
Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
I heard
Yeah.
that
I
forever.
haven't seen that.
Christopher Titus. Oh man, that was like
Yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle
Yeah.
era, like. Fox
But that's
era.
what was frustrating is I felt like there was something I'm supposed to know about that character, and I never got the rest of the story. I don't. There was something that happened in this town, but they never really expound on it. Like we
It's
said,
called
it just
Freddy. That's what happened in this town.
no. I meant after the Freddy. What did they do specifically? Not just now. They were showing that the dad hurt the one girl's dad is like in control of that institution. Like they've literally got people
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
but they've also got people
Oh, I missed
like
that.
comatose in
Yeah.
that place
Yeah.
too, and
See,
his
it's stuff
name
like
was at
that
the bottom.
that I love in this movie, though. Also, we need to mention that Jason Mewes was really good in this movie as well.
Jason Mewes was
Jason
in this
Mewes
movie.
was in this movie.
Oh, he's the
You
guy.
know, you might as well have been.
He might as well be, but that's not Jason.
Oh,
Clearly-
the stoner.
Clearly stole Jason.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's channeling Jason. I see
The
where you're
best
going
part
there,
is,
Nate.
in the making of on this on the DVD, they interview Jason Mewes about like being in the movie. He's like, "Wait, I wasn't in this fucking movie," and then he leaves the interview. Like, you could have just afford Jason Mewes for that part. I guarantee
Tell me he's
it.
expensive.
Oh, he
I
would have been
mean,
perfect.
Yeah,
I
like
think, Charlie, to kind of answer your question, I felt like maybe Mark's older brother and Will, who's played by Jason Ritter, John Ritter's, the late
John Ritter's
son.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they locked them up because they started seeing Freddy, or Freddy started coming.
that's
to
what I
them,
think
so
it
they
was.
just-
Is
they just
to
kind
have
of
the
shoved
town.
them away.
Well, they locked the one. What's his Jason Ritter's character?
Will.
They locked Will up because he said he saw what's her face's dad kill her mom.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we find out later it was Freddy.
Mhm.
Why is Freddy as a demon? Because it has to be a demon at this point, killing an adult.
Because he has a thing for killing
He
whores
said,
in
yeah,
that
he has
house.
things with the
There's
whores
a-
in that house.
Yeah, that's why.
it's another
Here we
another
go.
movie error. I think
There's a
He's-
lot of
It's-
errors in
yeah.
this
The movie does well with like Freddy, like the Comatose, where you have all those patients. That's
Hmm.
all really creepy.
That was
imagery.
super creepy.
Yeah.
I
Like that
thoroughly
works really
enjoyed
well
that.
when they all pop up. One of the things this movie also does really well, like the early Nightmare movies, is when you can't tell when the dream has started.
Mhm.
Oh,
I do
Like-
like that.
That's good.
I
yeah.
loved how they were able to bring that back in such a clever way. There's parts where you could tell it's like, oh yeah, now they're in dream world, but there's certain
Yeah,
parts
you
it's
know,
like,
when the
they do a
CGI
good
caterpillar
job.
shows up, that's when it's CGI, I think.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Or
Yeah,
that's
but
when it's a dream.
he's got
yeah.
that CGI caterpillar bong that caterpillars are known to use.
No, that wasn't a dream. That was for
Yeah, that was real.
Yeah, that
Jason
was
Mewes and
real.
that caterpillar
Freddy.
smoke
Yeah,
weed
Freddy
together.
turns into that caterpillar, and then he possesses him. He like goes down his throat after they. Smoke
Oh, you're
him.
right.
See, that's
oh.
weird too. Now Freddy has
Because-
possessed someone that's operating in the
Still
real
awake.
world.
He
Yeah.
did that in part 2.
Are we
Oh,
gonna
boy.
talk about part 2?
I don't like
time?
talking about part 2.
I don't
but he
either.
did it.
I liked part
Look,
2 up until
You
that.
have the body and I
when
have the
Freddy out of
brain.
the brain. Then it got weird for me.
Yeah, part
Like,
2
The
has
point
its
of these
issues.
movies is just to get our two icons to fight and kill a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah.
True.
The sad
But when it's
part is
nonsensical,
Freddy didn't really kill anyone. Did he even get anyone dead in this movie?
I think he killed one person in this movie.
Because
The
Jason kept being a
He kills-
the kid in the hospital where he wrote Freddy's back on his back.
Oh
Get
yeah,
it?
yep.
Yes.
Get
Yeah.
it? Freddy's back.
Because
Is that the one that he caught on fire? The
Yeah,
friend.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he slashed his face
Yeah.
and yep.
So
He had
Freddy
just
kills
escaped from a
him.
mental hospital. It must have been real easy to escape from mental hospitals. In
Super easy.
2000.
Oh,
You
he
have to go
stole them
back.
keys
Right.
in a heartbeat.
Right,
man.
right. It's super easy.
Jason just kept being a kill stealer.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
That was
mean,
that was pretty funny. She's
I
mine! That was
love that one. That's probably my favorite when he kills
Mhm.
Catherine Isabella.
Well, I just love the
and
blood
then-
sprays onto his face and like the shock. He's just like, wait, like Robert Englund's fantastic in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
he
the makeup
is.
is fantastic on him. Like
Yeah.
you could tell
Right.
he was having a blast.
I love the
Yeah.
normal Freddy makeup. I don't like the devil-looking makeup they
I
put on
like the
him.
demon
Mm.
one. Like something
I
about
did
it
not
looks
care
creepy.
Yeah,
for
I
it.
liked it.
I was like, man, this just doesn't fit for me. It's like he needs to stay. I don't want to think of him as a devil. I don't want to think of him as anything other than Freddy Krueger, who I know, iconic. And I don't know, it just didn't work for me on this one. All the other
like those-
makeup looks great.
The piercing blue eyes that are so like
Oh,
evil
yeah.
looking.
Nate just gets lost in Robert Englund's eyes.
I always
Oh.
do.
I do
Oh,
too, Nate. It's okay.
Swoon.
Yeah. Oh, Robert Englund. One day.
Oh.
All right. Well, while Nate just gets lost in Robert Englund's eyes, I think it's time to just take a quick commercial break. What do you guys think?
Ah,
Fine.
let's do it.
All right.
Don't go away. It could be a grave mistake.
Are you in search of a refined and elevated podcast?
One where you can sit back with a cup of tea and indulge in the finest film cinema has to offer?
One where precision and polish comes before anything else?
Well, you've come to the wrong place.
We are CinemaSlab!
A podcast where we let our nerd flags fly and review our favorite movies and shows, new and old.
We're all besties,
And one brother and sister.
and we love discussing movies with each other. Whether it's a record-breaking television show that has us glued to our TVs every week,
We're like private investigators, except for no one hired us or asked for our help.
An ooey gooey practical effects filled horror movie.
Or a cult classic masterpiece.
You shoot me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize.
We're sure there's something for you on CinemaSlab.
I'm your Scream Queen, Anna.
Yeah, you're gonna love this one. It's a scream, baby.
I'm your gore gal, Hanna.
I kick ass for the Lord.
And I'm your favorite little brother, Hunter.
I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to this couch!
And join us each week on CinemaSlab.
As we bond together over our love of cinema.
And all things media and entertainment related.
Don't let the commercials bug you. We're back.
Well, Nate's done staring into Robert England's eyes. He's staring into Jason's lazy eyes. So let's. What do we want to? I feel like I'm bitching about a movie that I do.
I don't know why you're
technically
bitching so
enjoy.
much because
I don't know.
Awesome.
This is weird when it's a movie I like, but man, when I start seeing the cracks in a movie,
I
and
don't
it just
even pay
kinda,
attention to the cracks in this one.
You were just paying attention to the cleavage.
Freddy's upset. Jason's just on a murdering rampage. I mean, come on.
I don't
So
know.
was any-
Go ahead.
Oh,
The
sorry.
soundtrack is awesome.
It is. It is.
So, was anybody else upset that Betsy Palmer didn't play his mom, Jason's
Indeed,
mom?
100%.
I thought
to
such.
me, all old white people look the same.
Well,
Well, I assumed it was.
Wow.
Jesus,
well, I
Nate.
saw
They
an,
do.
Are you saying
I saw
Pete
an
looks like
interview of her.
everyone?
In 10 more years, he will.
Charlie and I look exactly alike. I mean, we both got no hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I tell you,
Totally.
once like old white people hit like 65 and up, they're all just the same.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I
Oh.
saw an interview of her and she said that she thought the dialogue sucked
Uh-huh.
and that the part wasn't long enough for her.
Mhm.
So she was like, I'm an actress, for God's sakes. Don't give me these stupid lines. is what
Was
she
it
was
It's a
saying.
Yeah.
bit part. Jesus Christ. All you had to
Well-
do was just be mom for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Isn't she
You're
a stage-
unkillable, Jason. That's your secret.
I mean,
Well,
isn't
it's
she a
just
stage
Rebel.
actress or
I think she
don't know.
was, or I don't even know what she's been in
I was
recently.
gonna say, yeah.
but-
Has she been in anything else though?
Oh,
Like-
nothing.
But it's
What were
like,
you
this
gonna
is-
say, Hunter?
I was gonna say, isn't it like notorious that she didn't like being associated with Friday the 13th?
That sounds kind of familiar.
I don't know.
I mean, it's very
I would
possible.
believe it. Yeah.
She
Because-
probably thought it was a one and done type thing
Sure.
when she did the first one,
Yeah.
but because they continued it on and didn't really need her anymore, she ended up just being a dummy head in half of the movies where she's just on an altar. You know,
Tom
tech-
Savini dummy head.
exactly. Tom Savini sculpted a Betsy Palmer, and that worked just fine. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if no one knew, say like a new generation starts watching it at this movie, they're not gonna give a shit. It's
They
gonna be
won't.
all
It's like,
Jason's
How many
mom.
people
It's-
even remember that she's the killer of the first one?
It's
You know?
us old assholes. I remember that.
Casey
Yeah.
Becker didn't in Scream.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
Right. That's
See,
it.
and that was in '96.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Still
in 2003,
blows my
you're
mind.
getting further and
Was
further
Scream in
away from that.
'96?
Yeah,
See,
bro.
I keep saying that every
Jesus
time someone
Christ.
says it. It doesn't seem
Yeah,
right.
it's like 96.
This is 20 years old. We're old.
Yeah.
96 was such a good year for movies across the board.
Agreed.
Yes.
Everywhere.
It was the return of horror, and
Oh, yeah.
we got some
Yeah.
good ones.
Most definitely.
Although it did skew a little teenage slasher, and I don't know if I got a lot of time for those movies.
That's also because of Scream's fault, though.
I agreed. Yes.
I
But-
know
but
what
it
you
brought-
did
it
last
brought
summer.
horror
I'm
back.
looking at you.
Yeah.
I
Well, her
actually
entire cast can be pretty. What? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they're so pretty.
Wait, not only can we get okay, so we're not going to get anybody naked, but we can put a bunch of hot chicks on the screen and young boys come out to see these movies anyway.
Mhm.
And we
Yeah,
don't have to
'cause
pay
usually
the.
they'll be in a tube top and it'll be a raining.
It's it's close
It's gonna be a
enough.
rain scene.
They'll get
the
their
only
little
to
preteen
watch, I know
boners.
what
It's
you
fine.
did, and I know what you did last summer. That's the only reason most of us went and watched it. You know,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Jennifer
You
Love
seen
Hewitt.
it?
And
I know who she is.
The Hook.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't
You
seen the
seen it
movie
ever?
though.
Ever?
1 and 2
Nope.
is actually pretty good.
What year was that?
It's all right.
Probably
96, I think.
97 or
Oh,
98.
I was in
Yeah.
college. I was
Oh, that's
chasing
right.
tail.
Oh yeah,
College peak.
when he was in college, he was chasing Poon
Yeah,
the entire
97.
time. He didn't watch movies. He was all like, "Oh, there's this chick here, there's this chick there. I ain't got time for movies. I'm a regular Casanova."
Hannah,
There's
Anna,
a-
we don't usually have women on the show, so I'm just going to go ahead and apologize for these two the way they are
It's
right
okay.
now. Okay. They
We're so
just
hard to offend.
Yeah,
It's-
as far as that's concerned.
there's a reason why it's called fishing and not catching, and I was definitely fishing.
He was trying.
I was
Bait.
definitely trying.
bait wasn't big enough. Anyway, let's get back
No,
to this movie.
It's definitely not big enough.
I didn't even hear what was said. Sorry.
Said his bait wasn't big enough. That's how this banter works on this show. It's so good. Nate, you're supposed to be driving. Why am I driving?
Because you've been bitching about the movie that I really enjoy.
Then tell me everything you enjoy about the movie.
Yeah, tell us your
Yeah, it's
love
just
for
the
it,
blood
Nate.
sprays. Let's face it.
So the blood sprays in Jason or Freddy versus Jason were better than Lone Wolf and Cub because you're just flat wrong.
No, they were, because there was multiple ones and it kept going. The only time
nope.
it stopped is when
Nope.
Jason was in a coma.
Nope.
That's the part where the movie
Nope.
slows down for me.
Nope. Nope. They were way better in Lone Wolf and Cub.
I'm
No.
These were
side with
little
Nate
bitty
on this one.
fountains. And another thing,
Itty
Jason
bitty fountains. They're like hit
No.
a guy in the chest and it's just all over the place.
you clearly did not watch Lone Wolf and Cub then.
Oh, I did.
No, we did. I remember.
I remember.
I was there.
One
Let-
decapitation.
My question with Jason is, so like he's been shot, he's been electrocuted. The electrocution was funny. And he people have thrown things at him, tried to chop him up, and he only bleeds when Freddy cuts him. I didn't quite.
Got blew the fuck up too. Like blown
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Yeah,
Like,
they
Not in this
exploded
movie.
him. Not in
No,
this
not-
one, but he
Not
has
in this
been.
movie. Right,
Yeah.
right. That
Yeah.
was right before. Was that Jason Goes to Hell?
That's Jason Go to Hell. That was
Yeah.
yeah. So
But
we've
I didn't
seen
understand
everything on this guy. Yeah.
the great scene where Freddy dumps those rebar on him from a high level. That was awesome.
Oh, I
But
love that
it goes
part.
it goes through him and he starts squirting blood all over the place. And I don't know if I've ever seen him squirt blood as a
No
as
one's
zombie
ever,
Jason.
hit him before.
I think he's bled, but it's usually black, like blood ooze that comes out
So
of him.
so do these supernatural beings have something on each other? Maybe I don't know. It's
Maybe.
not explained.
I was
It's-
kind of leaning towards that maybe it was only because it was Freddy, but I do appreciate their thought, and I'm sure that they had to do this as they were filming, is every time Freddy hits Jason, a cloud of dust pops up. And I'm sitting there for a little bit and I'm laughing, but then it dawns on me that if it wasn't for the dust, it would look like some little kid trying to beat up an adult, is what it would look like.
Yeah.
None of the
Basically.
punches or
That's a good
kicks would
point.
have any
Yeah.
power, but by adding that little bit of impact to it with an effect, I was like, okay, I get it. But it was just Freddy knows kung fu, man, and I don't know
Yeah,
if I
it's
like
awesome.
that or not.
Freddy knows
I'm
kung
okay
fu.
with that.
Yeah.
Kung Fu
He's,
Freddy
you know,
approved.
Yeah.
He's
doing
using
high
Jim-
kicks.
He's Jim Cotta. He jumps up behind him, grabs him by the. I don't just come on.
No, it's Jason's brute strength when he grabs Freddy, bashes him through the window, and then
Oh.
slides him across
That's
the
my
entire
favorite.
railing. Oh my god,
That-
it's so badass.
Hands
Yeah,
down,
that
I
is-
wish he would do
Yeah.
that to someone that's not Freddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see the
Yeah.
aftermath. That whole fight in the cabin, every time Jason hits someone, they are flying across the
Yep.
room.
Yeah.
And I am there for it.
I am
I
too.
love the power of Jason. They got that right in this movie.
Yeah,
I
when
love
the
it.
nerdy kid gets pushed into whatever that poking out L bracket.
That sucks because
It was
that's
a-
the dude that had cancer and fanboys, man. And I was like, man, I
Is
forgot
that
he
who
was.
it was?
That's who that is. Is the
Okay.
kid that they try to infiltrate Lucas's Lucas Ranch. But yeah, he's from there.
Oh,
I love the look of Freddy when he realizes he's now in the human world. Like, oh shit, She
Just
brought
totally.
me in.
You
Yeah.
could actually see fear in his eyes. He's like,
Yeah. Now I gotta fight this
shit.
guy. Good thing all the
But I
time
gotta-
that I've been dormant, I've
Yeah.
been training on Bruce Lee movies.
I gotta fight him for realsies.
You're giving Bruce Lee nightmares.
Yeah.
Exactly. He tried Chuck Norris, but it reversed on him. You can't scare
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
Can't do
Even
anything
the-
to Chuck Norris.
The tanks when he's like cutting those off and like trying to hit Jason.
That was
all
that
of
was
is
real
awesome.
dumb. No, it was real
No.
dumb.
That
Having
was
Jason
dumb.
slowly walk through
It was
away
real
from it.
dumb.
Oh, I love it.
Jason like barely turning to the side to miss him just
This
totally
one,
made it
and then
feel
when
like
one
that
does
was
hit him,
nothing.
he flies through.
That
No,
was
what's
stupid.
dumb is Pete's favorite part where he gets a pinball reference
No,
where
that's not.
Freddie
no.
plays pinball with
Yes,
Jason.
I was about to
No.
talk about that.
That's
Go ahead, Hannah.
Yes,
talk-
it even
that's
says
that's bringing Looney Tunes into my horror movie, and I don't. Need that.
he went tilted, but that's what Freddie does.
I think there's some. I don't know if it's like on the special features or something, but I saw. It was on YouTube, but I saw another video where they were talking about that, and they were like, "So you want it like this?" Because like Ronnie, you was telling them that's how he wanted it to look, because they tried to do it practical at first with like wire and like
Oh my
slinging
God.
across the room,
God,
but
That poor stunt man.
yeah,
Right.
but I guess that just wasn't what you wanted, and the producer's like, "Are you sure?" But he said, "Oh, I like that." Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been. But he was like, "Oh, I like that," and I'm sorry. But yeah, he said,
Breathe, Hannah,
he
breathe.
said, "Oh, I like that." So, but yeah, that's why that scene is
I
like
get in
that
so much
because of
trouble
Ronnie.
for doing those impersonations. Don't feel bad. I've done it.
Okay.
Not allowed to do them, Charlie.
I'm not allowed.
Yeah.
You didn't mean it from a negative way.
No,
No, but it also explains why Freddy does a crouching tiger, hidden dragon move out of the
A
water.
leap out of the water. Yeah,
That
it was
shot
beautiful.
is awesome,
Dude,
though.
it is
Freddy
awesome.
style.
It is awesome.
Whoa!
The
I'm
like
oh.
red tit in the back. Oh,
It's on my bucket list. I want to do one of those. You know, just get
You'll-
yanked out of the water with some wires.
Throw your back out, Pete. Don't do that.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
the fight in
No,
the
it's
boiler
not.
room
No, it's not.
where
man.
both of Freddy's arms get cut off in the boiler room, and he's just like, "Oh, my arms!" And he regrows
Yeah.
them.
Why didn't he regrow them right into a double bird? I mean, come
Oh
on.
yeah, he missed
That
out.
would that's totally a Freddy thing.
That's a Freddy move. I would
Uh-huh.
have been down with that. I don't know. My issue is Freddy. You. My issue is Ronnie
Freddy
you.
you.
And might as well call him that at this point. But I think it comes down to his choices. And you really kind of feel like the crew just went, whatever, fine, your name's attached to this, not mine.
Yeah,
I think it's just a New Line Cinema thing, though, as well, because there's like, look, we haven't had a
we did
movie
run a
from either
study
one of
before
these in
this.
forever.
Well, they
Right.
bought Jason to do this.
Yeah, they
Like-
moved from Paramount to New Line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they didn't get the old movies, which is why we don't get all of
You
the
don't get-
montage of Jason kills at the beginning. We only get Freddy's because
You also don't
Par-
get Friday the 13th the words
Because they
You
didn't
get
buy the
Jason.
title.
yeah,
They
they,
didn't buy the title. They bought the character.
yeah, they only bought
Okay.
Jason to put in here, and I don't know, man. I just feel like they just did it to do it. Like I know this thing's been in production hell for years. There's
Yeah.
been I don't even know how
Amazing
many.
we even got it.
Yeah.
There was like
Yeah.
16
It's a bit of a
script
miracle, yeah.
writers. But
Yeah.
I'm also
There's-
sitting there thinking of everything everyone's wrote down. This is what we got.
I think
Hey,
it was all compromises.
Yeah,
though.
there was some crazy
Yeah.
stuff though.
There's had to have been
Lord.
15 other really bad scripts.
Yeah.
But they're out there. You can read them if you want to.
Because
I mean,
this at
I,
least
I've
got
seen
us-
some of them. Yeah.
The Hellraiser
idea.
ending is the one I really wanted.
Yeah.
I want
was
that.
thinking about that.
Yeah, I really
That
wanted.
What was the
would've been
Hellraiser
cool.
ending? I don't know that one.
They were Jason and Freddy were supposed to eventually end up in hell, continuing to fight.
Fight.
And
Yeah.
as they were getting ready to strike at each other, chains were supposed to snap out, grab
Yeah.
them, and Pinhead appears and goes, what's all this fighting about?
Sup, dudes?
Right. Yeah.
Yes, but they didn't want to buy the rights.
They had to buy
because Pinhead was
Pinhead.
in a different studio. Yeah, you
Yeah.
had to,
Yeah, I don't even know
you
what
had to
studio
purchase
that
those
one
rights.
is, but like that's why we never got Freddy
Dimension,
versus.
something like that.
Dimension.
That might have been it.
Dimension,
We
yeah,
never
it's
got
Dimension.
Freddy versus Jason versus Ash because
That
Sam
was
Raimi
another
didn't
rumor.
want to sell the
They didn't
rights
want
to
to sell
Ash.
the character of Ash.
And
because
you know
that's
what?
he would have had to have
The way
done.
this movie turns out, I'm glad it didn't happen because it would have been.
It's still amazing we didn't get a sequel though because of how much money this movie made.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
made money.
That's a
but
great question. That's a
people-
great observation.
This is one of those things that there was so much hype, everyone went to watch it. So technically, it made
Boy,
money.
I
but
wonder
people
what the
really
first
didn't like
weekend
it.
and the next weekend with the drop off.
That's
No,
what
it,
I
it was
would
the
wanna
number one box office for 3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Against what though? You know what I mean?
It doesn't
Like-
matter
That's a good
though.
point.
I mean, that's 3 weeks in a
But
row.
it's
to just be number
still
one.
now still considered probably one of the worst ones in the franchise. Like there's
No,
not a lot
no.
of fans
I
for
don't
this
think
movie.
so.
What is
See,
it on
there's
IMDb right now? It's
there's-
probably not even a 6.
there's fans and there's horror fans. Like a lot of people, a lot of normies, right, can get behind Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, the OGs, right? Because they're legit good movies and they're legit good scares. But as you move this franchises forward, I think I hate to say true fans, but the folks that get it, the folks that really enjoy this weird, wacky stuff, those are the ones that are like, man, Jason in space. Yeah, I'm down for that shit.
I love Jason in
This is
space.
weird. This is weird shit, and I'm in for it.
That's why
And-
it's in my wheelhouse where I'm just like, hey, this gave me what I wanted. It could have copped out and just be like, yeah, they don't fight at all. But it's like, now they have 2 major fight scenes and like,
Yeah,
I get to see Jason kill a lot of teenagers, which is what I want.
Yeah.
And I get to
Let me
see
both.
Freddy mess with teenagers in their dream, which is what I wanted. It's like, it took the best of what works and threw it in a blender. I went, I'm cool with this.
Okay, fair.
I mean, the story does have a lot of holes in it, but the premise is fine, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just, the idea of Freddy no longer being afraid anymore or being fear. I think that's a good idea.
I think that idea was so good, but it wasn't developed well in this film.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest problem with this film is that they had a really good premise. Like the reason Freddy had no power anymore is that no one remembers him, and to get them to remember him, he revives Jason. Man, I think that's a solid story, benchmark.
Exactly.
And then I think that just weird shit happens.
And it probably hits where Charlie said, where like a studio probably just went, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
Get
just
this fucker made.
Just get it done by this date and cut, print, go.
And you have a
Honestly-
guy that has only really done one other horror movie, and most of his other stuff is overseas,
But it was a
films.
successful, not reboot, but bringing Chucky back, with Bride.
It was, and Bride is good. I enjoy
I
Bride.
love Bride.
That's what really frustrates me even more is
I love Bride of Chucky.
why does this not resonate with me like Bride does? I've watched this movie several times. Don't get me wrong. It's a watchable movie. I just looked it up. It's only a 5.7 on IMDb out of 124,000 reviews.
Oh,
so
pretty solid.
That's, but I meant that's average. That's 5.7,
Oh.
out of 10. So it's
I
not,
also-
an iconic thing. It's literally made fun of most of the time because of what we're talking about. Kung Fu Freddy, it
I don't
almost
mind Kung
goes
Fu.
Looney Tunes for quite a few kills. They touch greatness, then they go off the rails, then they bring it back a little bit, then they go off the rails. And then I know as we're getting closer, we get to the end, and there's no clear winner at the end of this movie. Like we're promised a winner when this was being promoted and shit.
That's
There's
true.
no clear winner.
We
but
did
like
this-
the same thing happened with Godzilla versus Kong recently.
Thank
We're
you.
like,
That's-
we're going to have a winner.
God
And
damn it.
we
Godzilla
don't.
won.
You stole
No.
my fire there.
Godzilla kicked King Kong's ass. He was dying. Godzilla won.
Yes, but they said there would only be one. And
Yes, and there wasn't. They
They-
There
teamed up.
was. King of the Monsters, Godzilla won.
Godzilla won, and
King
then,
Kong left licking his wounds.
Yep.
So,
But he
Yeah,
got
but
the win for
also
the
he
assist.
let Godzilla know that he meant business.
Yeah.
yeah, no. Don't even start on
Also,
that.
in my defense, though, like Friday the 13th Part 6 is my favorite in the franchise. So
Are you kidding me?
he lives. He gets brought back to life. It's awesome.
In the most asinine way possible.
It's so fun, though. Like
Jason doesn't even kill him in this movie. He gets killed by the girl.
Yeah, but he also jumps up from the water that he's supposedly afraid of and stabs Freddy in the back with his own hand. It's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jason
that-
gets stabbed with his machete, and Freddy gets stabbed with his hand.
I mean,
His-
we're expecting it.
Yeah.
Although I do not like the Freddy slowly push the machete into Jason's chest.
Yeah, that was
It
kinda-
needed to be like a take this, motherfucker. It was just a I'm gonna slowly penetrate your flesh.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
not really a
was-
Freddy thing.
It's not. It totally fell out of
didn't have a
Freddy
one-liner
fighting in
at
the
that
real
point.
world isn't really a Freddy thing, though. So he's just like, look, this
That's
is all I
also
got.
true.
He crouching tiger, hidden dragon out of the water. Don't tell me he can't do stuff in the real world.
Agreed.
That was great.
I will stay on that hill
It's
right there.
fantastic. I
Yeah, I
have
thought it was
no problems
fantastic.
with that at all.
Oh,
And talking about earlier when we did Desperado, walking away from an explosion, they were
Mhm.
way too close to those propane tanks.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
they were.
Way too.
I don't care if you're underwater. Your
You're
brain's gonna
getting
turn to
some
mush.
damage. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's something happening.
That
My neighbor's
concussive-
propane tank exploded. Nate, you were on that episode.
Yeah, we heard it.
we were
on the
Like
recording
recording.
Moses?
and heard it.
Yeah.
For real.
Holy
Their
shit.
house burnt down, but it shook the neighborhood.
Lady Propane.
20-gallon tank,
Sweet Lady Propane.
Hank Hill
Yep.
over there.
20-gallon grill propane. Sounded like a bomb.
Oh
So,
my
they-
God.
Wow.
They blow up the giant one up here. One thing I noticed in this movie, I had never noticed it before. There at Crystal Lake, never dawns on me why there's construction equipment. They're building a condominium. That's what the construction
what they're
site
building?
is. When
What a
they
sequel!
when they
Man,
send
that
that
is untapped potential there.
Oh my God, they were setting up for a perfect sequel.
that thing that's swinging is for concrete, it knocks
Yeah.
a sign over, and if you look just right, it says coming soon, and you see like buildings. Like
That's
they're
awesome.
redoing
No way.
Crystal Lake.
I didn't either.
Never caught that till today. Because I was
Yeah,
like,
the
why
guy's in
is there
construction.
construct? But
Yeah.
it never dawned on me why there's construction stuff at Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Like that never dawned
Never
on me
thought
till
about that.
today.
Now,
Some
I
asshole
totally
bought
realized
all the
that.
property.
Now,
and
there was
decided to cut
something-
down all the trees and make it.
that I also didn't
Make a
realize
resort.
till today when watching it. It's when Freddy is pushing that like cart or whatever to go down the slide.
It's very
Jason,
funny. Very
and
funny.
it gets stuck, and just Freddy
Mhm.
going like, "Oh, come
Like,
on,
"Ah,
give me a
come
break."
on!
Because we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
We've all had that situation,
Well,
so I felt that frustration.
We've all dumped rebar on a friend and hoped to push a cart of dirt on them.
Yeah, and it gets stuck, and he sold that for me. God,
Yeah.
there really is a good sequel there, Charlie.
Robert Englund
they
can
build-
deliver a line. No matter what role he's doing, he can, even in stupid zombie strippers, that man could deliver a line, and it's always so much fun to listen to.
Could you imagine
yeah.
the storyline of Jason at
Versus
Crystal
zombie
Lake?
strippers?
No, but at
Oh.
Crystal Lake, and he comes up out of the water, and it's condos surrounding.
Yeah.
him.
And then you have an entire
He
like
goes right
you have
back
the
into
condo
the lake and he's like,
base.
I'm out.
yeah.
You literally
Oh.
take Jason Goes to Manhattan and bring it to Crystal Lake.
Bring it to Jason.
That's
Yeah.
Bring
True.
all of the people.
With gentrification, like them be like, oh no, we're gonna build this up. We'll put in these,
That's not gentrification. That's the rape of the land.
No, that's what we do in Columbus. We just throw up $1,000 apartments for rent. Go over to the west side right now. You're just
Yes,
like, wait, what?
But
I
not
just
in the
went
middle
down
of
Cleveland
beautiful,
Avenue the other
pristine-
day. There's some stuff being gentrified down
Yeah.
there.
Yes. Indeed.
Don't tell me there's
It's
not.
really
But
bizarre.
gentrification is not making condos in the middle of the woods. It's a very different
They-
concept.
They gentrified Jason.
Yeah.
They gentrified Jason.
They
I'm sorry.
gentrified one person.
Jason gentrification is the thing. Okay.
Jasonification.
And then they're probably gonna gerrymander him as well.
For fuck's sake.
Stop it. All right, let's do the things, boys.
Go
That's
off the
enough
rails
of
here.
the movie. What do we do next? Now I'm lost. Raining blood.
We almost had raining blood in this with the very tiny little blood fountains.
This is the waterfall Jason's scared of.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what it is.
Yeah,
So
Freddy's also like, you're an ugly kid,
We,
bitch.
Jess, we've had 2 movies in the past few months that have had literal raining bloods, and that's
we have.
We
It's
haven't
been
done
pretty
the
awesome.
remake
made me
yet.
very, very happy.
No, we haven't. That'd be awesome. So I argued with YouTube on this body count today.
Oh, with YouTube?
Yep, because I looked it up, and one said
Kill
like
count? Yeah.
30 some. Then
Oh,
another one
That sounds
said
high.
28. And I kept calling bullshit. So I finally
sounds
sat
high.
down and watched the longest one to see what they're counting. They're counting all of the fake dead people. Like the lady at the beginning that's in the hellscape. Every time she changes her face to talk to Jason, they count it as a kill.
Yeah.
The people floating in the closet in the water that Jason's getting ready to put people in, they count that.
Yeah.
They count the camp counselor Freddy's having fun with and said she's a dead lay anyway.
And then he makes her wave.
Yeah. They count her as a kill. So the real kill count in this movie is 19.
Okay, that sounds
okay.
fair. Well, but they didn't
Respectable.
count all the heads in the cabin that Jason is dragging a body into, because they were in when Jason was dreaming before he opens a closet full of water.
They counted those.
There were a whole bunch of heads.
As far as I think they were just literally counting a dead body in the movie. And I'm like, that's not how kill counts work.
Right.
That's not-
Agreed.
Like they were counting the mom's death that they were doing the flashbacks of. That doesn't count. They counted Robert Englund dying as Freddy at the beginning from the townspeople.
Nope.
That
Oh my
doesn't
gosh.
count.
Nope.
Yeah.
Doesn't
So
count.
it's a 19, which is basically all teenagers in this movie, mostly at the festival. That's the biggest like carnage that happens in here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now the next part, we get to pick our favorite out of 19 or so. Let's do our kill of the week.
What do you think? Zombie kill of the week?
Let's start with our guests, the chatty, always won't stay quiet. Hunter, what is your favorite kill of Freddy versus Jason?
My favorite kill has to be the mattress kill.
Taco Tuesday.
Yes, that has got to be. That took
Taco
me
tray.
out of it. Just oh my gosh, it hit me out of nowhere. And you're not expecting. You're just not expecting Jason to be standing there. And then by the time he gets done stabbing the machete, I thought he was done. And then he just folds the guy up, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's wonderful. And then his girlfriend comes out, and then she finds him, and I just like, I'd just be like, huh. Wow. Like, I'd honestly be impressed. I wouldn't even be terrified. I'd just be impressed.
It's like, how does that even work? The mattress doesn't even do that automatically.
Yeah,
like some of them
we have
do.
a flat mattress.
That's right. Hannah, what about you?
That's my favorite. Can I do the same one as Hunter? Because
You
yeah,
know
that's
it.
my
You know
Kill
it.
of the
favorite.
week. Yeah.
Yes, that's
your
my
kill of
favorite
the
kill
week.
too.
Yep.
Is I mean, he's just stabbing that machete so deep, and like the blood's just pulling it under the bed, and then and him just slamming him up, and you just hear the crack of his spine. Yeah, I loved it. Loved
Awesome
it.
sound effects with it.
Yeah.
Anna?
The kill that Jason steals from Freddy at the cornfield.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I feel like that's
cool.
the first time in the movie where you really get to see Freddy surprised.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah, he's like,
shit,
oh, this guy's
I
a
didn't know
threat.
He was going to
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
And then he has his little bitch fit. She was mine.
Yeah.
So that one's epic.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Kill envy.
Yeah,
Love it.
exactly. Pete, what about you, bub?
Oh, it's the bed kill. We've seen this before in the past where
Yeah,
someone
he killed
gets
a
folded
sheriff.
up like that.
He
Yeah,
folded a
kills
sheriff, in half. Yeah.
But like it was such a surprise. You're like, he's just mauling him in the back, and then snap, he folds that trundle bed up in a way that isn't supposed to go, and you can see his face go, oh, like he's dead. His eyes are closed. And then he goes, oh, eyes open. At the very end, it was a great, the actor really chose. And let me tell you, that asshole.
Yes, I was about to say.
Yes.
He was such a douche.
Don't make me tell you twice, Pete.
Douche is not the word for it.
The worst.
People like that don't need to exist. And I hope I don't know anybody like that. So yeah, it's the bed. It's Taco Tray.
Taco Tray.
Yeah,
Even better. I like that.
His name was
Nate,
Trey.
me or you? Are we flipping for it? You're supposed to be driving, but I
you go first.
I'm gonna bend the rules a little bit, much like the guy in the bed. As far as kills,
like the guy in the bed.
Yeah, as far as kills go, Taco Tray probably is the best kill in the movie.
Are you gonna go electricity?
My favorite thing in the movie isn't technically a kill, but it would have killed someone, and Nate already said it. It's when Jason rakes Freddy across all those windows.
Yeah.
His entire body goes slamming through. I know it's not technically a kill, but I love that so much. I'm cheering. And I wish they would have actually used some, like Kelly Rowland, that's how she should have died, was just slam her through all the windows. I would have been totally happy with that. So, Nate, what about you, Bubba?
Mine's the bed kill. You don't mess with my crush, Captain Isabel, and treat her like that. You do not do that. Come on. You don't do that to Ginger.
That almost didn't make it into the movie. That was a last minute decision. They was just supposed to be stabbing him.
Bed kill? Oh.
Yeah. And I think it was either the special effects department or someone had the idea and kind of came up with the concept and showed it to Ronnie Yu. And Ronnie Yu's like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Do it. And they did that kill. So it wasn't planned, but it's probably between that and cutting the one dude in half were probably some of the more graphic kills. You know, the dude that was high when he slices him in half is kind of cool, but
it's so great.
That was great.
This now leads to an official machete count.
That's right. There's actually a machete in this movie.
Yeah.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
And yes, that's my Jason X
It's
drop.
great.
I love it so much. So we rank on a scale of 1 to 10 machetes. You can do halves. We will start again with the ever loquacious Hunter. How many machetes are you going to give Freddy versus Machete? I mean, Jason.
You get your thesaurus.
Freddy versus Machete gets, I'd say 7.5 machetes for me. I really like the way that they incorporated Freddy using Jason, because I feel like that was like P. That was a really good story. It just wasn't developed properly. Like they didn't give it enough room to breathe. If they gave it a little bit more room to breathe, it would probably been a 9 or a 10 out of 10 machetes for me. Because, you know, this is like, even when I was in high school, it'd be something like, you know, oh, Freddy versus Jason, or, you know, Freddy versus Michael, or even Michael versus Jason, you know. And this is one of those rare instances where that question gets semi-answered, which, I mean, you know, they did pull a GVK and didn't give us a true, you know, a true winner to this battle. But
Godzilla won, damn it. That's what I'm saying.
Next year, can we do Ju-On versus Ring?
Godzilla was ready to go around 3. Kong is the one who gave up and said, let's just be friends. So, as much as I love Kong, I got to give that one to Godzilla. But, same here, I kind of feel like if they did give it a winner, it would have made people hate the movie even more.
I think so.
So, I feel like the ending was, while
fair.
Not everybody's favorite, was necessary to kind of keep everybody happy. But I kind of feel like if we did get a more solid ending, again, it would have been a lot higher for me. But everything there, solid 7.5 for me.
Good deal.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to mix it up to Anna.
Me? Okay. I'm going to
Yeah.
give it 7 machetes out of 10. I ranked them all on Letterboxd. You know, they only go to 5, but none of them got below a 3. So as far as this is concerned, none of them got below a 7, you know, on my list. They're all fun. This one was still fun. I ranked it least favorite. I'm sorry, Nate. But I know. I also agree that...
Don't listen to him, Anna. Just Just keep going.
I feel like the story was
Ignore
good.
him.
The possibilities were all there. It just wasn't developed well enough. I like the idea of this horror multiverse that, they don't have the Bundys and Dahmers. They have Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy in all the different corners of the world, and Chucky running around somewhere. So
Yeah.
I like that concept. And
Whoa,
I
whoa,
think
whoa,
Hunter,
though.
like you said too, that if there was a winner, it probably would have pissed some people off and might not
Yeah.
have been as popular as, it wasn't that great, that popular, but it might have made it even less popular.
What if, though, we had John Wayne Gacy versus Ted
No.
Bundy?
No.
That could be a fun movie.
No.
There
Clown
No.
versus
there
a
was
handsome man.
No.
There was a script written that Freddy
Mm-hmm.
got
Heard
Dahmer
this.
and Manson and Bundy,
Gacy and
Gacy,
Hitler.
and Hitler to help him defeat
Mm.
Jason.
Whoa, that's like an axis of evil.
Yeah.
God in heaven.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, and that's exactly what.
It's just that South Park episode where they keep arguing with each other while they're trying to make the cake.
Exactly. Oh, that's such a great episode for Satan's party.
Something else I heard about this was Peter Jackson was offered to be the director,
God,
and
that'd be
also
amazing.
Rob Zombie.
Rob
but they both
Zombie,
turned it down.
Peter
Like
Jackson.
Old Peter Jackson, like the bad taste Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Dead
like
Alive
Dead
Peter
Alive.
Jackson.
Dead
I
Alive,
was
Dead
like,
Alive, baby.
shit.
Guillermo del Toro was top of the list.
Oh, really?
To do it.
We would have got artsy Freddy versus Jason then.
You would have
Yeah.
gotten that too. Yep.
We would have
Yeah.
I
cried
would've
at the
been-
end.
I
I
would
don't
have
think
been
I
down
would
for
have
that
liked it.
shit.
No.
It would have been fun.
Maybe.
Hannah?
I gotta go 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh.
This movie is just nostalgic for me, and even watching it as an adult. I mean, I've watched it all throughout my life. But I mean, well, when it came out, in 2003. But I mean, I just love this movie so much, and even watching it as an adult, I still love it. I mean, I can recognize that it has plot holes and some of the acting isn't great, but the gore's there. I mean, the excitement is there of Freddy versus Jason, two of the biggest, faces in horror going against each other, and the fighting is there, and I just remember as a kid, like I still get excited watching it now, like I did when I was a little kid. And so, like I said, I grew up with Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, watching all those, and so just to see them both come together on the big screen, it was like a dream come true. So I got to give it 8.5 out of 10.
That's fair. There we go. Pete?
It's 7. It's not my favorite of either of these franchises by a long shot. There are lots of problems, and I did get there were some long exposition areas where they're explaining shit to each other that I just didn't give a damn about. I'm not going to linger on it. It's a 7. Not my favorite, not the worst, but yeah, clearly not my favorite.
Yeah, Freddy's Dead's the worst. Come on now.
It's not good. No, New Nightmares.
Don't start
way
fights,
worse.
Nate.
No, New Nightmare's awesome. New Nightmare's so good. Oh,
Don't
you're
you talk
wrong.
about
It's like
Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead's bad.
No, you're
Freddy's Dead real bad.
That's the bunny.
All right, Charlie, what about you?
Freddy's Dead. It's the best. I don't want to be the lowest in the room, so I think I'm going to go
Yes, you do.
7. I was about to go 6.5.
I thought about it too.
You know what? I'm going to go 6.5. That's still above average. There's still some
Yes.
really cool kills in it.
Yeah.
There's some comedy in it. No one's, hard to look at in this movie. It just too many damn plot holes. And honestly, I would probably be a high 7 had you not made him scared of water. That literally pisses me off in this movie. Like, who even thought of that? Well, he died in water. So? He's died with fire. He's died. I'd be scared of a grenade. Yeah, that would kill me.
Blowed up in one movie.
But it diminished Jason for me, and I didn't like it at all.
he got a machete to the skull in one movie, and he still uses that as his primary weapon.
Well, that's because Corey Feldman's the comeback kid.
He really is. All props to Corey. But no, I think I'm gonna give a 6.5. There's definitely Jason movies I prefer. Everyone knows it. I love my Jason Goes to Hell. I love Goes to Manhattan. I love X. I love all the ones that most people hate. I love the Kane Hodder years, except for the psychic one. I'm not a fan of the psychic one. But I love Kane. I love Kane Hodder in it. I love that Jason. I can't stand the. I was just as mad at that psychic as I was at Psychic Freddy in this that I didn't even talk about, where he's like throwing Jason with his mind. I'm Jean Grey, bitch, and just throwing him all over the room. 6.5. I'm sticking with it. Nate, go ahead and hit this with a 9, Bubba.
It's not 9. It's an 8 for me. I still love this movie. Like,
I would have jumped down to 6.5 with Charlie.
Pete's like, I got to bring this average way
down. You talked me down correctly, sir.
This is an ideal movie to throw on at a Halloween party where it's just fun.
100%.
There's a bunch going on.
Yes.
That's what this was meant to do.
True.
It was meant to just have a good time. That's what I have with it. I had no problem watching this today because, like, oh hell yeah, Freddy versus Jason. Like, there are worse ones in the series, in my opinion.
It's not supposed to be high art. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is just mindless, stupid fun. I enjoy it. I love even with that opening title screen where all the blood just flies onto it.
I love it.
Yeah. It's so 2003. It's like painfully. Early 2000s.
Is painfully 2003. That is exactly what this type of movie is.
I don't know what that means.
Kelly Rowland. That's what that means.
We're talking about those foes that are sidekicks, you know, that like they flipped up. That's what we're talking here.
What does that mean? I don't know.
You don't know what Kelly Rowland means? The one girl in here. The Destiny's Child girl that's in this movie.
The one that
She's
gets
a survivor.
Off, but it's a dream.
She didn't survive. She got whacked.
No, it's a Destiny's Child song, you old man.
I'm a survivor.
I gotta give up. Wait, not give up. I
don't even know the words. Shut up, Nate. Finish your thing.
Freddy vs. Jason, fun movie.
All right.
Best
Nate,
way to start out our Halloween season.
You got a you have a trash review, or you just want to go off?
Of course,
mine?
There's like a million of them.
I know there is.
I'm the trash man.
Make it the shortest one.
I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage, and then I pick up the trash can and I smash the guy on the head.
Oh, that's gonna be a disaster.
Love that drop. All right. So this one is from 2003. I had to make sure I found something that was relevant to when this came out.
Okay.
Yes, you know.
Pete appreciates that when you do that. Good.
Agent 10, who gave this 1 out of 10 and said it was a step back in the horror genre. Nothing new, nothing different, just a bunch of blood and random teen stupidity dished out over the span of half an hour. Thus, this is what Freddy vs. Jason is all about. Never mind the cliches and the crummy acting. This film was just a travesty to the fact that it was ever made. People's dreams really be haunted by the fact that this piece of crap somehow made it to the big screen, then made money in the process. I guess there is no hope for the human race when they willingly shed out money for something this boring and ridiculous. Well, here's looking forward to yet another stupid line of horror films.
Wow, I'd like to get his opinion on the current 20 years of movies that have come out.
Right,
I'm sure
on anything.
I did want to revisit the remakes before this, but didn't get a chance to, just to see.
Oh,
we are not doing remakes. No.
Friday the 13th one is actually good. I enjoy that.
Yes, it is. It's
I like that remake.
It's not streaming right now. Like HBO has all of them except for Jason X and this one.
And
all the Freddy's were streaming not long ago, and now
they're on
not.
HBO right now.
Yeah, they're on HBO right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I know AMC snags everything because they do that. Snacks. But they do that month of terror or whatever it is. So a lot of times they all get licensed.
Oh yeah,
out
spooky month is coming up for us right now.
Yes. So okay. Well, trash
this
opinion.
Leads to, was it next week? What's next week's episode, Charlie?
I don't remember.
Hold on. I got my book. I guess we should have went over this, Nate, before we started recording.
Aha.
So next week is my only contribution to Spooky Month.
Aw.
And this is a present to Pete. This is a late belated birthday present. We are doing John Carpenter's Vampires.
Cool.
Nice.
That Pete has already covered on his show and absolutely hated. And I am making him do it on my show because I absolutely love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
The only way.
The Give Me Back My Way.
Well,
Yeah.
that's enough of us. Let's let our guests explain what they do and what they're all good at.
Yes, please. Save me from vampires.
Well, we
I'm
are
gonna take PTO.
CinemaSlab, and we're just a bunch of nerds. We
Yes.
review all kinds of movies. Huh?
I said noids.
Noids, yeah. A bunch
Noids.
of noids. And yeah, we just like to make each other laugh and have a good time while we watch movies. We've been watching a bunch of stuff lately that at least one of us hasn't seen, and
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun.
That's
and
fun.
We're doing our Slabathon this October.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start it off with John Carpenter's Director Spotlight. So we're excited for that. And we're going to do like our top 5 favorite horror movies. We're thinking about doing a couch sesh. We haven't done one of those since the very start of the show.
Yeah.
And do it around the fire and tell some spooky type stories where we've had kind of interactions with supernatural kind of
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Me and
I
Hunter
dig it.
have quite a few
Ooh.
stories about some supernatural stuff we've seen and stuff.
Love it.
So yeah.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. We're excited.
I dig
But
it.
yeah,
I
you
really
guys
love
can
it.
follow us on Instagram at CinemaSlab Podcast and
Yeah.
listen to us on all the major podcatchers.
Yeah, we are covering it's Hunter's pick this week, and we're covering Antlers from
Oh,
I gotta
2021.
watch that
cool.
still.
Yeah.
I know I
Yeah.
haven't seen it
do.
either.
Yeah, she's
Oh
got to
my
watch
I
it.
gotta watch it tomorrow.
That has easily got to be one of the best horror movies released in the last 20 years.
Me and Hunter went and saw it in the theaters. It was a
Yeah.
great experience.
That was a real low release too, wasn't it? Or did
I
it-
think so.
Del Toro
it took
produced
forever
it.
to come out, and then
Yeah.
it kind of got some bad reviews when it did come out because it just wasn't what
Didn't
people
think it-
were expecting.
Right.
Which it did not deserve at all.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So,
Fantastic.
but yeah, tune in to find out.
And then the
Dig it.
last pick before we go into spooky season is my pick, and we're covering Inception,
Yeah.
which I'm
Oh.
really excited about.
Oh,
But also
very
really
nice.
nervous that I'm going to butcher it somehow because it's like a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we would try it here. They did cover The Rock not too long ago, and I love that episode.
Yes,
Oh,
we
thank
had
you.
so
That was
much fun.
So much fun.
They released their Rock episode right when we released our Con Air episode. So it's been like this.
Yeah.
Because we had just done
Nick
what,
Cage.
Mandy and Con Air, then they did The Rock, and it was just like Nick Cage all
Nick
over the
Cage.
place.
Yes.
Loved
I love
it.
Nick Cage.
So cool.
All right, well, you can also follow us over at Give Me Back My Horror Movies on Facebook, Give Me Back My Action Movies on Facebook. We are both on Instagram along with CinemaSlab. We all interact with each other. There's a ton of us podcasters that have just kind of built this little community, and we're having a lot of fun. We all promote each other. So if you hear of one, you'll hear of another. We try to jump on each other's shows, really support us all. So go rate them 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. Do the same for us. Go look us up on Spotify and Apple. We're on X. We're on all the stupid social medias that change their name every other week. I'm tired of saying it half the time.
X might start charging you though, so we might be.
If
done.
X starts charging me, I'm done.
Out.
Yeah.
I'm out, Elon. You listening,
It's
bud?
another failure of Elon Musk. I love it so much.
Is that no? You already have a feud. You can't start another feud till next year.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yep.
I don't
You get
remember
one.
who's
You get
doing
one
right
every
now.
year because you can really concentrate on it.
You
I
got
know,
the
it's
dude,
that
the dude
jackass that
from
ruined all the dude from
Die Hard.
Die
Yeah.
Hard and Bad Terminator.
Bruce Willis?
No,
Bruce
Willis.
What do you got against Bruce Willis, man?
I got nothing against him. He's dying. You can't do that.
Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney, that's it.
Yeah, that's who you have
Yeah.
a feud with now. But last year it was Billy Zane. This year it's Jai Courtney.
Well, that's
Fuck
right.
Billy Zane. He's a prick.
I see. I like Billy Zane. Billy Zane's the man.
Nate is justified for hating Billy Zane.
Stories of him from other celebrities on podcasts. Like he was a huge asshole to Bobby Lee, and I love him. He's so funny.
Bobby Lee is a very odd.
I would
person
probably
to
be an
take.
asshole to Bobby
Yeah,
Lee.
I was gonna say Bobby
No.
Lee. If you don't understand who Bobby Lee
He's
is,
not the only one, okay?
Honestly, most of the Mad TV cast, I'd probably be an asshole to.
pretty much.
Outside of
he's-
Will
he thinks
Sasso
he's
and
bigger than he
Key and
is.
Peele.
Yeah, no,
Who's
I
Billy
love
Zane?
Billy Zane.
He was
That's
the guy who was going to marry Kate Winslet in Titanic.
he was the Phantom.
DiCaprio?
He was
the rich
in
guy that she was gonna marry, but she met
Demon
Leo.
Knight.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He was in
Is that Billy
Sniper
Zane?
with Tom Berenger.
No
Yeah,
one
Billy
talks
Zane was
about
the-
Sniper.
I talk about Sniper. Tom
Yeah,
Berenger,
that's your
Billy
problem.
Zane. We're
No one
covering
likes
Sniper.
Tom Berenger.
We're covering Sniper.
Oh!
I'm taking PTO.
Nope, you're out. You're
Yeah,
going to
I am
Japan.
too.
You have
Charlie's
no
gonna do
more
it by
PTO.
himself.
You are out of PTO if you go to Japan. So don't
Shit.
even try it, sir.
It's only going to be
Wanna
2 episodes.
make you
And
do it in a
Nate,
different
you've
time
used
zone.
all of your sick days already. So
You don't want
you're
me to do it in a
done.
different time
Getting
zone.
sick.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for checking us out this week. Thank you, CinemaSlab, for sitting through the chaos that is Give Me Back My Horror
Thanks,
movies.
gang.
Happy
Thank you
birthday.
for joining us
that
on
was fun.
Freddy
Let's
vs.
do it again.
Jason.
Can we plug one more thing?
You
Of
can
course.
plug whatever
I mean,
you want to
yes.
plug.
We're all movie lovers here, so
Yeah.
and I'm sure all of your fans are movie lovers.
I hope so.
Anna's House of Wax.
I always
My
forget.
best friend over here,
Yes.
Anna, the famous Anna. She makes candles, wax melts, freshness for your car. They're all movie and TV themed and video games. She just started video games. So go check her out. She's on Facebook, Etsy. It's called Anna's House of Wax.
Yep.
So, but all of her stuff is awesome. Her scents are amazing. She's been concocting some great potions lately, I guess if you want to call them
Yeah.
that.
I need to
for
order some.
Halloween.
She gave me the genius idea to blend my Camp Crystal Lake fragrance with my Sleep Tight fragrance for a Freddy versus Jason candle. So that's coming soon. Yeah.
Yes.
I actually have some of her candles. I can
yeah.
attest to
Yeah.
the amazingness of them. I was
Thank
also
you.
told that I'm not allowed to eat them, even though
Yes.
one made me want to eat
Not
it.
edible.
Oh,
Cannot.
don't eat them.
Yet.
Yes,
I will.
don't eat them.
I will bring it up with me next time and let you guys smell it and tell me not to eat it.
Yes.
I'm
we're gonna smell
Dude,
it.
I'm telling you, if whatever food you could make, I don't care if it's raw sewage. If it smelt like what she sent me, I'd eat it.
Thank you, Charlie.
Nate needs all your candles in his house. Just from personal
I
experience.
think it's the trick or treat fragrance, whatever that
That's
one
why I always
was.
have candles going.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
That
It's
was a
amazing.
good
And then
one.
I got the Golden Girls one for my wife because she loves the Golden Girls. She
Oh,
loves
I
them,
need
by
a
the
Golden
way.
Girls one.
It
Awesome.
smells
Thank you.
exactly like old lady, what you would expect. Like
Exactly.
when you walk in their house
Not
and
sure
you
I want
smell
that.
like
Yeah, I don't-
potpourri
what?
and all of the perfume samples from the magazines.
Yes.
It smells like that, and it's amazing.
Potpourri and Calvin Klein.
It's so good.
So yeah, Anna's House of Wax. Please go check them out. I am a customer. It is awesome, guys. You need to buy some stuff from her. Support small
will.
business here.
Yeah, I
It
will.
is
When you
amazing.
approve my request.
I'll get on that.
Yes.
I'll get on that right now.
Jeez, come on, Anna.
They're sharing a computer right now, Pete. Damn it, man. Give 'em
God.
Approved. Approved.
Yes.
Right now.
Hooray!
Thank
live
you, guys.
approval here. You're only going to get that here. Give me back my action movies. There we go.
I'm in.
Thank you guys.
Now I can send you dick pics. Wait, no, I won't do that.
Wait, Pete.
He's baiting again.
Oh,
Was
gosh.
it big enough that time?
I was not expecting that.
Me
Oh,
either.
wow. No one expects a dick pic.
No one expects
That's why
the
they're-
Spanish dick
That's
pic.
why it's unsolicited.
Oh,
I
man.
guess we're going to outro on that. Here we go. Bye, everybody.
Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.
Talk about how I get back home.
Not y'all, CinemaSlab. Maybe Hunter. Pete, do we need to have the consent talk again?
We probably should.
Yeah. All right. Well, now
But
that we're gonna
Yeah,
get
we don't care.
sexual
is
harassment
HR
again.
up? I don't think
Oh,
HR is
yeah.
up right now.
They're not
we have-
happy.
No.
what, HR is never happy.
Jackie's HR. So
Is
there's
Jackie
already
HR? So Jackie and I
shenanigans.
are in cahoots.
Yeah, cahoots big time.
I
Yeah.
thought Jody was HR. I've been reporting to the wrong person this whole
Jody
time.
Jody doesn't listen to none of this shit. So it's
We're
I'm
not
off the hook
allowed
there.
to let Jody be HR because we've had her pie.